I'm back. I'm back. Happy Monday, everybody. This is Crystal Jordan with Reality Check. And I think if there's any place that we would want to talk about everything that's going on over the past weekend, there's been some trending topics that have had Twitter and Instagram, not just Black Twitter, because the celebrities being talked about in this situation are not exclusive to the African American community. This is like Hollywood royalty that everybody is talking about. So I wanted to make sure that we did have a reality check conversation about everything going on with, I guess, the thruple gates, we'll call it. Will Smith, Jada, August Alsina. 50 Cent actually was in this. We were going to do this conversation on Friday, but then um, but then uh, Jada made a statement. Jada they came to the red table, and Will and Jada came to the red table, and so that caused Instagram to go crazy. We were talking about some other stuff with T.I. and 50 Cent, but then 50 Cent got involved in the situation with this. So we're going to have a reality check conversation about this. I'm excited because I have Zoe and Nivea are going to join me. Actually, Zoe just popped in. I'm going to add him to the screen here.
What up?
Hey,
How you doing?
how are you? I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see
I'm in
you.
London in quarantine.
Oh man, you're in London in quarantine.
Good
Man.
to see you too.
Wow, 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 wow. And so Nivea, is Nivea here in Atlanta?
I heard you guys went back to phase 1 in Atlanta.
We're back in phase one. We're having some troubles though. We are um Atlanta, we like to party. Not we, but Atlanta as a city overall. And I don't really know if we're set up for a lockdown. Like people are still, so we've been sent back home. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the mayor got it, and I was like, wow. I mean, it's getting better here in London, but I know in Atlanta it's kind of going backwards.
Yeah, we're going back. We're gonna catch up though. How has it been for you? What are you working on over there in London?
I've just been working on my DJ mixes. I'm working on the show, of course, with Nivea Hopeful. We do Mondays and Thursdays. We have it tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
It actually airs live in London on the radio station late night. So we have a late night show here as well.
Nice,
So
nice.
just with different ideas and concepts and working on.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. Now we may.
Sorry, it keeps going slow.
That's okay. It's because of time. I'm sure the time zone and everything. We're used to this. We've been doing interviews this way for about what 3 months now. So we're used to the time.
Right.
I wanted to have you and Nivea come on and have this conversation because I saw you guys had the podcast, and I said, I've got to talk about it, but I want to make sure that we get a diverse group. So, it's three different opinions. I want to get into it as soon as Nivea jumps on. We can just start. I mean, it was so much. We were supposed to do this conversation on Friday.
Yeah.
We did not know that Jada truly did bring herself to the red table.
And her husband. I wouldn't expect it.
And her husband. So I'm actually waiting for August to come back as well.
Oh, I can't wait. I thought we was going to have something by the time we got on today. I was like, ooh, August is just itching. But he's probably waiting so he can strategically respond, opposed to just responding emotionally, I guess.
I don't know. He seems like an emotional responder. But I will say, as we wait for Nivea, 15 million people watched that interview. Well, it's probably more by now. But by the end of the day on Friday, 15 million people had watched the red table conversation with Will and Jada. So
wow, it's record breaking, right?
Yeah, that's the most popular red table so far, and I'm sure by now it's probably double or triple that. So we'll see. But I would think if it were me, from a publicist standpoint, I would definitely wait and drag it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have him come after, they're probably looking at all the memes and seeing all the stuff, and it's like, okay, cool. And then have him come and just keep the party going, keep the energy up, and then, renegotiate with Facebook on the re-up on the red table talk. contract.
And he has an album out, and that's the thing is you would think that I guess he can't wait too long because he has an album that's literally has already been released. So I guess he needs to be doing everything he can for that press, really.
Yeah, he should. But I tell you what, I watched the documentary. Did you see his? Because he has a documentary that came out with his album, and unfortunately, I think that kind of got lost in the
drama.
The drama, right? But the documentary, if you guys get a chance to watch it, is actually really good. Well, it really shows you like a snapshot into him. He definitely seems like someone that had a lot of internal issues, some trauma that he experienced, in childhood. And, it made me actually feel a lot of empathy for him. You know what I mean? So I wish people would watch his documentary before.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's what I mean. I didn't even know he had one. I would have at least tried to check it out to see.
Yeah. I watched it yesterday. It's called State of Emergency, along with his album. And unfortunately, he just dropped that T, and it caused everybody to just focus on the drama.
People didn't realize that he put a record out. And unfortunately, in the entertainment industry as a publicist, sometimes when you have the album release and then you have drama and negativity or anything other than the music around it, it gets lost, and people don't get to really appreciate the talent or the project that you put forward.
Right.
So I think he thought it was going to work opposite for him. I think he thought it was really going to boost him.
Right.
And I don't think it worked out that way.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna just go into my perspective of his conversation with Angela Yee. When I watched his conversation when he came clean about his relationship with Jada, I was watching his body language. He was very nervous, right? And he looked like he was about to cry. He was shaking. And I don't think he was doing it I really don't think that he did all this for album sales. I think that he's hurt. And if you watch his documentary, he talks about a lot of being molested as a child, really being turned on by his family when he was young, when he first started to kind of get on. And, from working around entertainment, how family can sometimes be, hard, or your internal circle doesn't feel safe. That can be a difficult place. But I don't think that I think that he's just really hurt. And I think that relationship was a safe place for him. And I really don't think he was trying to sell out. I think he just admitted some stuff at the wrong time.
Yeah. That's what made it questionable for me, is because I can see the truth and the honesty in him. Like you said, you can tell it was very emotional for him. But especially when he said that he can die today knowing that he loved somebody, somebody they are.
Yeah.
From a grown man, that meant a lot. He was in love with that woman.
Yeah.
But I think that of course, I don't know the facts, but when Jada said that this had happened years ago and she didn't understand why now, that's what made me think, well, he has an album now. Maybe, I don't know if maybe he was coerced into it. Maybe his team told him, like, now is your time. You coming out, tell your truth, release your music. Maybe it'd be healing for him. Maybe he thought.
Yeah. It could be, you know what? It could be.
He shouldn't have told.
He shouldn't have. I think that he should have had better representation. He should not have told. But I think he was still hurt. You know what I mean? Because you know how you can, I don't know if you've been in love to the point where you're hurt years later, but there are people that can break your heart so badly that you're still hurting 2 years later.
Yeah, I do think that, but I think that he knew what he was getting into when he walked into that. He knew that his position was the entangler.
Right.
And he knew she had proven. So you can't date somebody that's married and then get mad because they go back. I mean, you can, but you just have to understand that when you walk into this is because this is my thing. And I know Niv was about to get on hopefully in a second now, but I'm mad because he told on it, he spoke on it. And I'm also mad because I feel like Jada is almost put in this like good seat where it's like she's praised. But like you said, we all knew that August had mental health issues. He had health issues. He took on, I believe, 3 of his nieces when one of his siblings passed away. So this is somebody who will be guiding him and helping him through these tough times. And then she ended up leaving him, or they not worked out, and she went back to her husband. And everybody thought that was funny and it was great. But then if Will Smith was dating a woman who had mental health issues and and then did that and went back to his wife, we'd be ready to cancel Will Smith right now. It would be over. It would be, I don't like that.
I agree with you 100%. That was the point that I wanted to make. And like we definitely will catch Nivea up when she, when she jumps on. But I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking like, a young artist like Summer Walker has come out, right? And she said that she's kind of difficult for her to handle popularity and being famous, right? Will Smith has been famous. Right. He was, I don't know, 16, 17, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the whole thing. If Will Smith had an affair with Summer Walker, especially once she was, going through her situation, talking about it, and then went back to Jada, we would all be going crazy on him right now. People would see him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So do you think, Zoe, do you think that's because it's male versus female? Do you think that's the problem, or do you think we just love Jada so much we don't want to say she's wrong?
I'll do a devil's advocate, right? So as a man, I feel like being open, being honest, I feel like a lot of times women don't get to be in that position. A lot of times, most women are in Will's position, where a man is telling the woman, yeah, I did this with this woman, but I left her and I'm back with you. Mm-hmm. I feel like it feels like a lot of women felt happy because they were like, finally a moment where we saw the other side. But at the same time, I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like as a man, it kind of with Will too, like the way he looked hurt. He was hurt.
Everybody's saying that Will was hurt, but I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like that. I feel like Will's an actor, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he knew what was getting ready to be said. He already knew about the situation. I feel like Will did not. I think it was embarrassing to his ego. And we'll get into some other stuff that has happened. I think that he didn't. He's a very, very, first of all, he's very successful. He is ego driven, as most successful people are, period. Their ego is very big. I think that it's admirable the way their relationship shows they put down their ego. But I think that it was uncomfortable for him because he had to know that people were going to roast him. He had to know that it was going to be bad for his rep just as a man. This is the same man that was irritated at the fact that Jada and Tupac had that close of a relationship and wanted to beat Tupac up. So I think that it was more about, this is really going to make me look bad. And y'all, you see the memes?
But I think it was a little bit of both, because remember when he said, because I don't want to go through this again.
Right.
And I could tell he was playing with I'm gonna get you back, but he was serious about that. I'm gonna get you back.
I don't buy it. I feel like he's gotten her back. They did not say. They did not.
But I will say is that I think that Jada, I also read something that made a lot of sense. I feel like sometimes people will allow people to make mistakes because of the way they describe it. You use a couple big words and you take accountability in big words, and then you put it in a certain way where people look at you like you're so enlightened, when in reality you just admitted that you had an affair on your husband. But the way she worded it, and because we see her, it's like, oh wow, entanglement. But like Will said, what is that? You was in a relationship. Okay, great. You your husband, got it. But the way she says it is so nice and eloquent that a lot of people look at her and they say, oh, she's enlightened. Oh, she's woke. Oh, she's so intellectual. But she just told you what you wanted to hear, just in a better way.
And she said, because he said indiscretion, she was like, I'm not going to say indiscretion. To me, she still didn't want to admit that she was wrong. She still would not admit. She was like, entanglement, because, and my personal opinion, I don't know this, we're saying alleged, because I don't want any of the viewers to get upset. I'm saying alleged. They did not say that this has never happened before. That was not mentioned. They did not say that nobody has stepped out on the marriage before. They did not. And at the very end, he said, I'm gonna get you back. And she said, oh, I think we're good. And then he was like, you know what I mean? You could tell that there's more. That was a loaded little exchange right there that we know that, Will has not. I don't think that he was in tears and hurt because he's never stepped out on Jada. I'm not buying that at all. But I think, and I think, No, I think that the reason that she did not want to acknowledge that she was wrong is because the nature of their relationship, they both knew about whatever, and it was an
Right.
understood situation. And I think that there was just more to that interview than most people would have seen, right? Most people,
Oh, definitely.
yeah, it was a lot. I was like, you notice that they never said, you know, this was the first time this happened. you know, this was the first thing. None of that. None of that.
Whether it's never going to happen again. They never said it won't happen again. He said, I don't want this to happen again. And she never said it will never happen again.
Well,
She said she would feel good.
I don't think that. I think he just meant I don't want this to be public again. I don't want it to be. Let's make sure that whoever is a part of the situation on either side does not go sit down with Angela Yee in a hurt moment. And
yeah,
you know, that's what I think. To me, that was like, okay, let's this situation should not happen again. I think I like the fact that
she hit him with the Holly Berry. She hit him with the Holly Berry and Monster when she said, I just want to feel good. I just wanted to feel good.
She did. And I think men have always said women come up with excuses for their cheating, right? So a woman will be like, well, I just needed to feel good, and that's next, but men don't really make excuses. Y'all just be like,
no, you know what the difference is? The difference is women are too emotional and they catch feelings like Jada did. And she was in an entanglement and in a relationship. Men don't do that. Men do what they got to do, and we go do whatever.
August did?
No, August was in love. He caught feelings. Yeah, his was a little different, but he fell in love. And this is what I was about to say, though. He was, and we can say it this way. I'm gonna speak for the men. He was misled by somebody that he looked to for guidance.
Right.
He was taken advantage of. Let's be clear, taken advantage of, because if this was Will, we was talking about a woman, we would say he took advantage of that woman.
I agree.
So I think it's fair to say Jada took advantage of that young man who had mental health issues and already health issues. And then he had so many other stresses of depression and everything else. And I just feel like she took advantage of him in his weak moment. And when she figured out, I want my husband back, like most marriages who do things like that, they go back to their husband or their wife.
Right.
And then you left like August, ready to tell the world and just be hurt. And I just think it was wacky to say he shouldn't have spoke on it. He should have just left it alone. Or wrote a book or something like, I don't know.
I think, but you know what? I think in a world where most things are not authentic,
yeah,
I appreciate him. Yeah. You know, because you could tell he really don't have he's not savvy. Because you know, some celebrities, well, Jada, she's sitting there giving you fancy words and making up excuses. He just sitting there shaking like, I'm just happy I love somebody. You know, like, I mean, I appreciate him just being honest. I think that's what she was attracted to, his authenticity, him being just like one of those pure souls.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in entertainment and a lot of businesses, people with pure souls get taken advantage of.
Yeah, that is true. But I could see, and that's another thing a lot of people said was it was kind of hard to see what was authentic and what isn't when you're dealing with two of the best actors in Hollywood. Yeah. So it's kind of like, at some point, I did like the authenticity when he said the entanglement part, talking about the relationship, and also when he came back down to when he said, I feel like I'm the husband at the press conference and my wife cheated on me with somebody, and I'm like, I still love my baby, that's my baby. But oftentimes, and that's what I mean, I feel like this time for us it was switched. So I think a lot of people was a lot more lenient, and Jada's such a likable person. But like we all said, we all knew this has been going on.
Yeah.
It's just now we actually had proof of somebody who came and was honest. So I'm surprised she even responded to it. I mean, technically she didn't have to, I guess.
I think it was good for ratings. I think it was good for ratings, and I think that she is on a journey of being more authentic. You know what I mean? I think there's some bit of truth there. It's just in a lot of other stuff going on now. Also, so 50 Cent. I don't know if you saw this, but 50 Cent sent Will a text and basically was like, are you okay? And then Will was like, yeah, I'm good, thanks for asking. And then he kept on in true 50 Cent fashion and was like, man, you know, next time you give somebody permission to blow their back out, and then Will responded with F you 50. And that was the end of it. And then 50 hit back like, what did I do? All right, we got Nivea. We got a
real?
Yeah.
That was really real. I thought that was Photoshop.
No. 50. No, 50 is you gotta love 50.
I did. Yeah, 50 is one of my favorite people, especially of the past 5 to 7 years of just him being. That man is the king of Instagram. It's like, and he's funny every single time. Well, most of the time, but that man is hilarious.
It's hilarious. It always hits a little too close to home. Like, damn, that's gonna hurt a little bit. Like, I don't want to be his friend. I want to laugh, but I don't want to be his friend. So.
Yeah, he's on that line of like banter, it being fun, and then like to me what he did with T.I. Like T.I. made it fun, and then he took it to that next level. And it was like,
So that was what I wanted to talk to you guys about. When Nivea is joining, looks like she's trying to join. Do you guys feel like there she is? There she is. Let me add her.
Hi, Crystal. I finally made it in. I was like trying to figure this thing out. I know, so I'm like, Lord. I figured it out. Yay!
Yay! I love the blue. I love it.
How's everyone? What?
Okay.
Did you say? I'm sorry, Crystal.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit though. It is kind of
good. So we got Nivea, guys. I'm so excited. We got Nivea on. So Zoe and I have pretty much went through our opinion about the entanglement. So now you have the floor. You have the whole floor. What was your thought process when you saw? When you come on, Nivea, you got to give us a little something.
Honestly, I thought it was really. I felt like somebody. I don't remember who said this, but like. If I was them, I wouldn't feel like I owed the world a response either. However, what I think a lot of people forget, that was a really powerful thing for them to show they went through that, survived it, and even came back together afterwards. But I think a lot of people, what I'm seeing in reaction, it's like people forget that people all the time in marriages, males, the women or the men, or just boyfriend and girlfriend. So everybody was like, "Oh my God!" Like they just couldn't believe it. Like I'm like, man, people cheat. Like it's eating popcorn. Like it's breathing air. It's so normal. So I was honestly a little bit surprised at people's response. I'm not even being funny. I was very shocked people were that surprised.
Yeah. Well,
that's my. I didn't look at it as, oh my God, it was. I don't want to say it's normal for something like that to occur, especially in the world today. I'm not surprised. And we don't know what really went on, what really made them feel like that was okay to happen, to pursue for that long. I don't know. It's hard to really say because it's not like, even if they sat there and spilled the beans, they didn't tell us everything. So why it got so rocky between them,
Yeah.
They were just responding to fact. I know Jada just wanted to cover it and be like, I'm not a liar. I'm not going to sit here in front type of situation, I think. And honestly, I think the Smith family movement is about knowledge and benefit. So I think it went to their overall point and what they represent as a family, as a unit, I think.
Right.
But I mean, hey, it's just not that uncommon for people to be making that big of a deal about it. That's all I'm saying. It's just not.
It's not. It's very common, and I think a lot of people are in relationships that either it's going on and they don't know, or it's going on and they do know, but they don't want to leave. So I think it's common.
Yeah, I mean, how many stories have we heard of people saying, "Oh, that happened to me too," or "I got cheated on," or "I cheated"? Like everybody's like, I don't know. I think the bigger picture, like I said, was about them coming back together and getting over that.
Right. Yeah. What do you think about the fact
that was the big
that because we talked about the fact that August clearly had he acknowledged he has some mental issues, right? I was telling Zoe, I saw his documentary. He talked about a lot.
I only knew it was health. I had no idea it was mental. So now I'm reading stuff and people saying like, oh, she took advantage. Like, all I didn't know it was mental.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So that was news to me. I literally just found it out maybe like a day ago.
Yeah. And
that's because I don't want to say nobody was advantage of or anything like that. I don't know.
He acknowledged that he was molested by a family friend. We don't know. He hasn't said who it is, but he acknowledged this in the documentary. I'm not saying that.
Wow. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but I think I do.
Wow.
One of the things that Jada said is that she has this thing to help people. So I can't see how if her and her husband are not together and she's helping, sometimes when you're helping somebody, there can be an attraction for them, especially when the person is attractive, to you. No, those.
And you spend time with this person. You've gotten to know them. They've gotten to know you. You have started a relationship, even if it was a friendship.
Right.
Those white
you took advantage of that man. You took advantage of that man. If Will did this with a woman, y'all would think he took advantage of that woman. She took advantage of that man.
I think he did.
Both ways.
On purpose, though.
You think? I don't think she did it on purpose.
I don't think she did it on purpose.
Or like,
I do.
Trying to.
You
do?
No,
You think she
y'all
was
not gonna do this?
You think she said, "I'm about to go have a relationship with somebody"? I don't think that's what happened.
I don't think she
wasn't there.
That's what she said. She said that. She said that. She said that I was in a place. She said I was in a place where I wanted to feel good. Me and Will was broken up, and I was in an entanglement for years. Not for years. They was on red carpets together.
They were. There were a lot of pictures of them booed up. They were booed up.
I said, you don't know what happened between them that pushed her. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Everything happens, but what I'm saying is that if Will had done this with a woman, y'all would not be on here saying, "Oh, well, it could have been both ways." Y'all be like, "He took advantage of that woman. He wrong for that."
Yep. Yeah, we would be like, "She stood by him. Why would he do her like that?" But people, what I'm saying, they dragging.
I'm holding it down for the fellas.
Well, I'm holding down for everybody, and I feel like people are really attacking Jada over this, like her character and everything. I'm not seeing a thing about her, and she didn't have to tell y'all that she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
didn't have to say I did it. She could have just said, she could have lied or said nothing. I'm trifling is someone that's sitting in front of her husband that she did this to. Now she didn't do it to us. She did it to him. And admitting it, I give her props for that. I'm sorry, that was very big. That was a big deal.
It was, but I think she also did it for August. Because I'm saying if she watched the video,
because she cared about him.
Yeah, he was sitting there shaking and sad, and I think she felt bad. I know, no.
Like, how could I participate in this? Yeah, she probably was like, "Zoe, shut up." She was like, "How could I have participated in this?"
Keep saying he was shaking and he was shaking. And that's what
I haven't watched his documentary, but I've seen clips. But boy, oh boy, oh boy! I mean, I think it's just life. It happens.
What do you guys think about? What do you guys think on relationships? Do you think that relationships?
It's 9 o'clock.
Have a different structure because most people are dealing with cheating. People have always been dealing with cheating, but do you think that people need to be open to a different structure and maybe having different definitions of relationships?
I think. Oh, hold on. Let me go first. Niv is gonna be long. Niv got a long one.
You go first, though. You go.
I think that anything can go in any relationship. It has to be open to a conversation. If that's y'all gonna have relationships on the side, if that's we only together, if that's I can do what I want, but you can't. It got to be a communication. Otherwise, no relationship gonna work. That's what I think. I think you should be open to anything. If you in love with somebody, you should be open to anything. My opinion.
I like that. Yeah. I agree with that. Actually, I feel like in a relationship where two people love each other, I think it should be whatever them two people want to do. That's between them and them.
With those two,
whatever, just as long as it's communicated and agreed, I think that's awesome. And I think that's what makes a strong relationship when you're on the same page with somebody, whether the world like it or not.
Right. Yeah. Now, I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm just saying if one person decides they want to do it and the other person isn't cool with it, then that's not cool.
Yeah, no.
That's not cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It got to be agreed.
That's the most common way that it happens. That's the most common way. That is the way of life these days. But it should have communication involved, but that's life hanging.
You know, that is
unfortunately.
It ends up being a thing of one person cheats, then the other person finds out, then you're put in that position of, am I staying or going? And then if I'm staying, what am I staying? What does that look
Do
like?
I cheat then?
Am I cheating too?
Yeah, somebody who takes this type of stuff, like, I get it. It's a lot that goes into it. That's why you have to live for yourself, honey. You got to do what you okay with, despite what people other morals are and what their traditions are. You have to do what makes you happy. I tell people that all the time. You got to live for yourself. You don't have to worry about what your mom, your sister, and friends or people on social media are going to say. If you like it, do what you like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I agree with that. 100%. All right, let's switch it up. What do you guys think about? We were talking about 50 Cent going after talking about Will and Jada. What do you guys think about the 50 Cent versus Tip versus? Because I talked, a lot of people in Atlanta felt like Tip would definitely come out victorious.
I mean, we don't go for Tip because it's A-Town. A-Town. Atlanta. But
yeah,
did it happen?
I'm with Tip.
Did it happen already?
No,
it didn't happen yet.
I'm like, y'all gotta fill me in. I missed it.
No, I don't think 50 wants to do. I don't think 50's gonna do it. Like you said, though, he started responding back, being dirty and just taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. He's the petty. He's the king of petty. Yeah, he's the king of petty. So now he's trying to he's trying to agitate Tip. I'm team Tip. I would rather hear T.I. songs than 50 Cent songs.
Yeah, I think that's just a matter of, because 50 did have hits and a lot of fans. It's a matter of who likes who. Whoever fan base gonna show out the most, but that artist really. Yeah. I mean, we all in Atlanta definitely gonna rap Tip.
Yeah.
We definitely.
And
I think the whole South gonna rap.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's also like showmanship, and I think Tip would definitely. I don't know. 50 is kind of he's great on Instagram, but you know, Tip is.
Who knows? Maybe they'll do like a live show or something.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think it'd be dope to see Atlanta versus New York. What do y'all think?
Definitely.
Wait a minute, no. Oh, we got too many. Atlanta got too many.
3-on-3.
That would be crazy.
We got too many if we dodge them. We done stocked up. We got way too many now. We will win. I'm sorry. And we would definitely win. And I love a lot of New York rappers. I love a lot of New York rappers. We got to add it up to the roster now. It's a long list of it, especially. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Atlanta alone now is majority of hip hop.
I was just saying, if you consider New York, we can't really compare New York to the South, but I guess we're saying New York to Atlanta. Because if we do New York to the South, it would be what, New York and Philly versus.
So East Coast versus the South, then it would be Philly, New York, that whole area versus Atlanta. It would still be Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Y'all wrong. Atlanta is magnificent in the industry as well as dominating in hip hop right now. So that would be a hard one, unless you want to compare it in the eras of when another part of the U.S. was popping. I guess you can do it like that, but you definitely can compare it to current. That's unfair.
Yeah, it would be difficult. It would be difficult to do that now because the people that are participating are young people and they don't even remember when New York was on top. Like,
they're like, who is that? I hate that. They don't know.
That is very true.
When we were younger, we knew about older music a little bit, but they don't know it all. They're like, I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
To be fair to the young people, they are overloaded with so much music. We didn't have that.
That's right.
That's true.
People release projects. It took years for projects to come. These days, you got so many downloads. It's hard to research history when you don't even know this artist that was popping last year. It's so much.
That
They
is
don't know who was
very,
talking
very.
6 months ago. Like it goes so fast. Let me ask you, Nivea.
Yeah, there's like too many artists.
Yeah. What would you what how do you look at it as far as like how music is consumed now? How people have to put out so much music in order to stay relevant compared to how it was when you were, doing your thing. What's the difference to you as an artist?
I get it. I get that that's the way now, but I think it's very silly. I
Yeah.
think that's why there's so many artists putting out music. I think that's why we don't know who's doing this record or who that is. He sounds just like him, or dog, she sounds just like someone. I think that's stupid. I feel like people should take a time, just like they took time to learn the song. We need to get into you as an artist. Like, let me live with your album. Let me do 3 singles a year, not 3 singles a week.
Yeah.
From 30,000 artists. I think it's very silly. I
Yeah.
think it's very ignorant. That's why so much get lost in translation. And so many artists, even though there's so many opportunities for you to get in, it's even more difficult for you to stay in because we can't remember you. You're unmemorable. You're in the roster of trends in terms of the way they dress, what they talk about in the songs, who the producers they're using, and the same damn features. It's annoying. It's very annoying. And that's a lot of the time to be discouraging for you. People like, why you want to come back? Why you not put on the music? Where? Like, where is the lot? It's very annoying to me. I would rather make up a whole new damn genre.
Well, I think that there are like your fans from when you first came out. We still would want to hear music, but for some reason, artists never. Why do artists never want to do like? Yeah, I mean, come on, Nivea, we want to hear the music. Artists never want to do. They never want to cater to like the adult contemporary. They always want.
You're right. That's what's inspiring me right now. I'm glad that I'm actually okay with that. At first, I honestly wasn't. I thought that was not enough for some reason. But it's like, wasn't it enough when you was out, when you was popping? So that's the same crowd. So, and you have the actual potential of gaining a younger audience, which a lot of younger people are knowing about me, ironically. Thank you, Lord. So it is encouraging for me now to do it. I just had to accept that I'm okay. And I'm my age, my fan base is a certain age. And I think it's beautiful that they want even more from me and waiting on it, asking about it, and will still show support. So I'm actually working on something now. I hope by the end of the year we can get something out.
Well, we hope so too. You definitely hope so too. And share. They haven't been for a long time. And so you definitely have to come not just to talk the trendy topics, but to actually, deliver some music. What was your favorite verses so far? What has been your favorite verses battle so far, both of you guys?
I didn't even see it, but Erykah Badu and Jill Scott.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just because of the names alone and the music alone, I didn't even watch it, but I was like, that one.
Yeah.
But Babyface Teddy Riley pretty much did it. That was pretty awesome.
Mine is a tie, right? I got a tie. Mine is a tie between Babyface and Teddy Riley and Jadakiss and Fab. Jadakiss and Fab was
Everybody loves Jadakiss and Fab. I love Jadakiss. Yeah, definitely.
Good music and comedy. They had entertainment all the way through.
It was hilarious. I will say that Jill Scott and Erykah Badu was like a whole mood. Like it was like you felt like you were there. They were late as usual. There was sage. It was like a spiritual.
Versus was the best thing for people being quarantined right now because we've gotten I think performances and entertainment in a way we wouldn't have gotten or appreciated. And like we got to, we said we was waiting for it. It was like going to a concert.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't actual performance.
Yeah.
That's the best.
It was dope. I think Smith and Timbaland are brilliant for even thinking of this. That was just genius. I'm shocked it hadn't even been done before as much as people be on the IG singing and stuff.
I gotta say, our comment says Nivea is in a different league compared to these new R&B girls. Nivea is a singer. Keep rehashing this moody, depressing Cloud 9 music and vocals. I don't know who exactly they're talking about.
I kind of agree. I think even though I like a lot of the new artists, especially R&B, and definitely in hip hop, because hip hop has gotten way more melodic, even more than R&B. They singing more than we are. So I think as far as R&B tone, it did get a lot of sleepy Xanax music to me. I was like, why do you want to hear every singer sing like beautiful Janae Aiko, super talented Summer Walker? They want every girl to be SZA vocally, and I'm like, everybody's not gonna do songs like that. And why would you want girl after record to keep doing these same songs, same tempo, same mood, same topics? That's I don't get that.
Yeah.
I would like to sing about everything. My topics are everywhere. I think everything should be in the form of a song. So I don't like that it's been limited to this, oh, why you don't want me, baby, music. And let's go to sleep.
Yeah.
Then let's take some pops and pills and go to sleep.
Pops and pills. It does sound like music of people that are on pills, but I think that
It's very
the labels are
very marijuana inspired, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
But it's too many songs with that mood, in my opinion. I'm like, I almost cuss. Turn it off. I don't want to hear 9 songs of that. I can't take it. Nobody want to switch up in the tempo or the topic. Okay.
I think labels are not really putting artist development or putting any energy or money behind.
No, because a lot of our music is. They're businessmen and or people, and they're like, this work, do that, do her hair like that, make her body look like that. It's going to get a profit of it.
Nobody will take a chance on something that's different because it may not work, so they won't take a chance.
Yeah, and nobody those who do. We see pieces of it, but they aren't that successful because people pay to trends.
Yeah.
But they don't put enough effort into I don't think back in the day I feel like labels invested in artists. They actually invested in teaching them and creating them and finding a sound, whereas now the label just wants you to come prepackaged, have a look, have a let's go. Yeah. One hit, microwave. Let's make some popcorn. Let's make some popcorn and we'll go to the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. That is exactly what happened. Nobody's doing artist development, which is what I'm working with on my company. I plan to do with ATE, All Things Entertainment. That's what it's all about. Like getting into developing your sound and to match your image, and people getting that when they hear and see you, and that being a brand, right. But it being authentic. Right. And being something fresh. It ain't nothing new under the sun. Don't get me wrong. Everybody inspired by something, but what makes something new is when you add you to it.
Yeah.
So I hope I have a hand. I aim to have a hand in the new spread of entertainment in the future.
Well,
because honey,
we hope so too. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today and dropping your opinion on the entanglement.
Entanglement. Guys, y'all check out me and Zoe on Filthy Radio on Station Head every Monday and Thursday tonight.
Yes.
8 p.m. Check us out.
Where can
what's the
website they can go to tune in for tonight?
Yeah, if they download yeah, you could download the Station Head app. You don't have to create an account, but you can. Once you create that account, you search a Whole Fool or Filthy Radio. It'll pop right up. If you have Google Chrome on your laptop, you can listen at stationhead.live/Filthy Radio, or you can just listen on ontopfm.net.
Because we air in London on 95.5 late nights.
That is so dope.
So that's
On Top Radio, yeah.
That is so dope. Congratulations to you both. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. That is so dope. I'm so proud of you doing your thing over there. Miss Nivea, you got to come hang out. Once we can go outside again, you got to come hang out.
We get out of this. Absolutely. As soon as we get a show code on COVID. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Good luck tonight. We'll be listening in. The Station Head. You guys can go to @Zofilthy and follow him, and @ThisIsNivea to follow Nivea and find out all about their show. A Whole Fool airs tonight and Mondays and Fridays, right?
Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah. Okay. And thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a reality check special edition talking hot topics and trending topics. Maybe we'll have to have them come back next month and talk about some other stuff. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Definitely.
Crystal.
Thank
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
And thank you guys for watching, for tuning in to this reality check edition. I know the sound was a little off, and I also know that it's kind of weird for Nivea to have to talk about other artists, but I think she did a great job of really being objective to the situation. Whatever you think about the entanglement gate situation with Jada, Will, and August, what we all can agree on is the fact that we admire Black love that stays together. So the fact that Will and Jada, regardless of what has happened in their relationship, have been able to make their love last is admirable on all levels. So we want to wish them well. We want to wish August love again. We want him to find love in his life as well. And I want you to have love in your life. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Crystal Jordan with Reality Check, and I will see you guys next time.